Hello and welcome back to the Road to Good Cooking, and I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season so far. We are coming into 2025, and I thought I'd get a head start on restocking my pantry. And these jars that you see here, those are going into my storage closet, and these three smaller jars are going into my pantry. Now, you've all heard me complain about how small my kitchen and my pantry is, so I have to be careful as to what all I put in there. But during my downtime, I ordered grain from 3 different companies, and the one that I am leaning towards more is the Palouse company. And I tell you what, out of all 3 grains that I received from 3 different companies, these were by far the absolute cleanest berries that I've seen so far. And I was super impressed with the way that they were packaged and how clean they were, and it was no stress for me to go through them. And they came in these wonderful burlap sacks, which I absolutely love. I'm sure those are going to come in good use to doing something else with. Yeah, they're great little bags. They were very well put together, and I was super impressed with the way that they were packed. And as you can see here, the bags are completely lined, and like I said, I'm sure that I will put these bags to good use. But let me tell you about my new wheat grains. Now, when I first got my grain, I poured each bag out into a great big huge bowl so I can look at them close up. And believe me, I looked at every single berry in that 5-pound bag very, very close. And then what I ended up doing is taking a 1 cup and I spreaded them out on a lined cookie sheet. I lined it with some parchment paper so I can really see what I was looking at, and I didn't find not one thing that was out of order in the whole 5-pound bag, and I could not believe my eyes. I was expecting something, like I did with the other 2, and these were by far the cleanest wheat berries I've ever seen. Well, this is my first encounter with wheat berries, so I didn't know what to expect. But I know, having looked at the other 2 companies, I know that this is what I want. Not the ones with all the stuff in it. I mean, all the extra stuff. And after I went through 10 pounds of wheat berries, this was all I found in between both of those bags. And those look like 4 little wheat berries, little burnt wheat berries. But I am totally okay with that. Like I said, this was the cleanest wheat grain that I've ever seen. And I was super impressed with this company. This is going to be my go-to. I have no doubt in my mind. All of my jars have been vacuum sealed, and they're going into my storage closet, which is nice and cool, so I don't have to worry about them. And here's the extra wheat berries that I had to pour out of the jar because when I went to vacuum seal them, evidently I had too many of them in there and it wouldn't vacuum seal. So as soon as I poured this much out of each one, I was able to vacuum seal my jars with no problem whatsoever. And I am good to go. And you're probably wondering, Miss J, why do you have them in quart jars? Well, because I had them in gallon jars, but my rack in my storage closet is not tall enough for the gallon jars, and these fit so much better in there. I can get more in there, and these are quart jars that I'm not using, so I figure they'll be just fine. And that is my project for the end of 2024. Okay, let me show you. I'm getting ready to make some butter, so let's get started on the butter. Here's the seasoning that I'm going to be using for my compound butter. I have some garlic chili sauce and some crushed garlic back there, some chives, some parsley, and in that little round one right there, that's herb de Provence that I made about 6 months ago. I love using that spice when I'm roasting chicken or turkey, and it just gives it such a wonderful flavor. And here are the dishes that I'm going to be making my butter in. That's my butter that I have out every day. And then I have another dish back there that I'm going to make butter in. That's the mold for it. And I'm using my ice cube molds, and I have it lined with food service paper because plastic has a tendency of picking up the taste of everything, and I don't want my cocktails when I'm having happy hour to taste like garlic or parsley or chives or herb de Provence. I'll be using heavy cream and a little bit of my real salt. because I don't like unsalted butter for some reason. I just don't. All right, so let's get started. Now, if I was just making a whipping cream, I would stop right about here. But since we're making butter, I'm going to keep on going, and we're going to take it a little bit further. Silly me, I totally forgot to add the bowl scraper attachment to to my paddle here, so I had to do everything manually, and you'll see in the next clip when I put the bowl scraper on what a difference it makes. And that bowl scraper is a game changer. And I forgot about that real salt with those dark spots in there. I should have used a different salt, but that's okay. That's okay, because it's gonna be mixed up with other stuff, so hopefully it'll blend in. Oh my goodness. And it took less than 10 minutes. This took me way back when, back in the early 80s when me and the kids used to churn butter. We had an actual butter churner where they had to, you know, take turns at pumping it and making sure that it was making the butter. Ooh, Lordy. Ah, those are the days. Now we got all these fancy high-tech things that we can make butter and other things that we like to do. That's a good thing. And that, talking about some real buttermilk. It smells heavenly. Okay, here's where the fun starts. Ah, nice. Okay, off camera I rinsed my butter a couple more times and then I added it to this bowl here and I added a little bit more salt to it. So let's make our flavor, our compound butters. Fill up my butter dish first. Let's do this one. And this one I'll use for my, when I'm stir frying my vegetables for my noodles. This is going to be kind of a spicy one. I'm totally okay with that. All right, now here's my butter. I left it in the freezer for about 3 or 4 hours, long enough for it to set up. That way I can wrap it up and get it packaged and put it in the freezer. And I am definitely going to mark my bags as to what each flavor is, because I have a lot of butter in the freezer and I don't want to have to be guessing what's what. So I mark everything before I put it in the freezer, and it just makes my life so much easier. And I tell you what, if you are not making your own butter, you're missing out on life. It is the simplest thing to do, as you can see from the video. And with the price of everything going up, it really is cheaper to make your own butter. Try buying compound butter in the store and look at the price and tell me, leave me a comment as to what the price was that you found. I mean, it's ridiculously overpriced, and there's no reason for it. You can make your own butter, your own compound butter, to the flavors that suit your taste. And I have so much fun. I make all kinds of different flavors, and I make my butter when and I think about what I want to put it in. Like with this one here, this is the spicy one. So when I'm making my zombie apocalypse noodles with the stir-fried veggies and the shrimp, I will probably use this to stir-fry all of my veggies and my shrimp. And, that's the way to do it. So make you some butter. It's so super easy. And if you're going to need a mixer, whether it's a stand mixer or a handheld mixer or whatever kind of mixer you have, but just use the wire whisk attachment. And it took 9 minutes and 43 seconds to make with my mixer. So, I mean, it's the simplest thing in the world. It really is. Okay, so I'm going to get started making some biscuits, because I want to have some biscuits for breakfast in the morning. So I'm not going to be talking anymore after this, because my jaw is just really killing me right about now. So I will see you guys next year. I hope that you had a wonderful holiday season. Stay safe, stay warm. Let's get ready for 2025 with our chest stuck out and ready to go. So let's go, and I'll see you next year. Be blessed. Thanks for stopping by, and much love from me and Sophie.